So now let's go ahead and take a look at another way to save images. All I need to do is come up here, and it doesn't matter if I delete this or not, but I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Okay, get rid of that. And let's go ahead and get rid of all of this. So all I really need to do is just type in save frame, just like that. Now, if we don't add anything more to this, it's going to save the frame, and it's going to, by default, save a TIFF file. So let's go ahead and do that. So, okay, so I've drawn something, and I'm going to hit S. Okay, let's go ahead and check our sketch folder. And really, let's leave the sketch folder open. All right, so there it is. Screen dash the number of the frame count here, and then TIFF. Okay, and if I don't want to save TIFFs, what if I want to save JPEGs? And what if I want to name it something myself instead? Another way to control that is by actually in here typing in whatever you want. For example, let's call it my image. Okay, whoops, in quotation marks. Okay, my image, and then dash, let's do pound sign for 3 digits there, and then dot JPEG. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and run the sketch. Okay, now I'm going to draw something here. Okay, now I'm going to hit S. Now keep your eye over on the files adding in and see how they're named. Okay, so save. See that? Okay, and what it's doing is it's actually giving you the name of the image, and then the pound signs here are actually giving you the frame count, like what frame this is, all right? And it's actually going very fast right now. So why don't we go ahead and slow the frame rate down? Okay, so we can just come right up here into void setup, and we'll put it right below size here, and just write frame rate. And let's do 12 frames a second. That's all you have to do. Okay, now it's going to be 12 frames a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and run our sketch. And you see how they're going slower now, right? It's doing 12 a second. Okay, as opposed to like 60 a second is what I think it was doing before. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's open our sketch folder, and let's delete all of these images. Okay, move to trash. All right, so let's go ahead and run our sketch. All right, and it's going right now, and we'll go ahead and draw some leaves in here and hit S. Okay, 105, 122. If I press them really fast like that, it's actually giving me them more or less in order, right? 151, 152. Skip 153 there, but what it's doing is it's giving me the name of every frame that's being used, okay? And so in this case, it's 12 frames a second. All right, and so that's another way to name images. And you're probably going to use this way more than the way we just looked at earlier. However, do go through that other method just to understand a little bit more about working with integer variables and assigning them different values, okay? And then working with strings as well. So some really useful stuff there that's going to pop up over and over again. But in practice, you're probably just going to throw in save frame whenever you want. What else can I show you? Yes, check this out. Let's go ahead and go to our sketch folder, get rid of all these images. Okay, and let's comment out everything in here. And let's grab this and copy it and just comment that out as well. Okay, let's take this save frame and let's throw it inside of draw. Okay, so where's inside of draw? Right there. Let's throw this right here. So now what's going to happen? It's going to be executed over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Let's go ahead and try that. So let's hit play. Okay, there you go. See that? How that's just jumping on the side like crazy? And if I start to draw in here, it's adding all of those images. Look at that, it's just going and going and going. Now, this will keep going until you run out of space on your computer, all right? But I'm going to go ahead and stop this now. Okay, so let's see. In just that little bit of time, now remember, I'm only going 12 frames a second right now, okay? So it's not even going that fast. And just in that little bit of time, look how many images got racked up. Boom. Quite a few, right? And now the first chunk here, I wasn't actually pressing the mouse yet. So the first few are going to be blank, but then when I scroll down, there we go. There, I'm just scrolling through the images really fast, and it's kind of giving you like a stop motion animation here, okay? Now you can actually take this series pull it into After Effects, okay, and make an animation out of it, right? Just step sequence them. So there's actually some pretty useful applications with being able to save frames like this. And I do use this a lot because I'm doing a screen capture, or you can also in processing do output to QuickTime. It's not as easy as this, and it's not near as high res as doing a screen capture as it is actually exporting JPEGs like this. And so you have an animation, you can just let it run and then take all these images and import them into some kind of a sequencing program like After Effects and actually have animations. So that's pretty cool. But be aware that you can actually set something like this up, just run the sketch and just let it go. And it's going to just continually write images forever in here until you run out of room. All right? So just something to be aware of. Okay, so let's go ahead and stop that. And anyway, definitely want to get rid of that and uncomment this area again. Okay, and let's go ahead and test it again. No errors. We're good. Okay, and let's go ahead and change the frame rate here. Let's go ahead and change that frame rate to 24. Why not? Okay, so there we go. Yeah, okay, so there you go. There's a whole lot of stuff to internalize right there. It's really not that much code, though. Look at that. It's really small. But there's a lot of really important stuff that's happening here, right? We're loading images. We're working with variables. We're working with mouse interaction, both in mouse pressed and in mouse X and mouse Y coordinate following. We are setting up a key press block, and within that we have two different if statements here. And those if statements are, for hitting B to return to setup. So it's a way to run that setup block again and refresh everything. And we also have S here for saving images. And we looked at a couple of different ways that you can save images. Okay, we can save the frame and add it, or we can set up an integer variable and create a string name and name things ourselves. Okay, and then again, you can actually take save frame, throw that into the draw block here, and execute an infinite number of sequence images and then throw them into some kind of sequencing program, and it's going to look very smooth and be very high quality. And so that's just a nice little tip that you might return to as you start to create more generative art with processing.